In this video, we're going to teach you about Third Eye Chakra Activation.
3 tips for badass third eye opening.
Plus, stay to the end for a badass secret weapon
To take your third eye opening game to the next level. I'm Heather.
And I'm David
From ZenWestGarden.
Yes. Helping people create
badass lives. Tip number 1.
What is the third eye? What exactly is that?
We want to simplify the understanding of the third eye and what it really is, because I think we tend to overcomplicate it and make it really super mystical and inaccessible. So most people that want to open their third eye and use it feel a little intimidated by a lot of the metaphysical new age languaging that goes around it. So let's talk about what it is. It is the seat of abstract thought.
This is the place where your imagination goes wild to bring in inspiration, intuition, all of these things that we use on a daily basis.
Imagination, like Walt Disney had this huge imagination. His third eye was like, whoa, but you wouldn't necessarily qualify that as psychic information, but he was pulling stories and characters out of the ether and creating something wonderful. So basically, unless you've had a lobotomy, your third eye is already open. If you are a plumber and you're underneath a sink and there's a problem and you need a creative solution and you're looking at the pieces and parts and figuring it out, and you come up with that solution, it's from your third eye. It's abstract thought, it's problem solving, it's intuition.
It's the space and place where your subconscious, your superconscious, and your conscious mind get to talk together and work together.
Third eye is already open. Unless you've had a lobotomy, your third eye is open because you have access to that continual flow of subconscious to conscious and superconscious to subconscious to conscious. Conscious. Inventors and mathematicians who figure out formulas and scientists who come up with new things. We tend to not consider their third eyes open in the metaphysical community, but they very much are.
Einstein is another great example.
So we have to start thinking about the third eye as
a modality of thought.
Yes. But the one most of you have probably come here to learn about is psychic awareness and psychic gifts.
And the reality is that only is this much of the capability of the third eye. Open it wide and use it for everything. Put that ish on everything.
Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can expand into the psychic awareness of the third eye. Tip number 2.
You're already using it.
How you are already using it. So think of the third eye not like a light switch that all of a sudden gets turned on and it's open, but think of it as a dimmer switch.
So the difference being the light switch has an off state and an on state. That's it. Either your third eye is closed and it's not working, or it's full on and you can't control it. A dimmer switch allows you to go from just a little trickle all the way up to full blown.
Well, like I said, unless you've had a lobotomy, your third eye is open and doing something. So I want you to think about the capacity of the third eye abilities as a scale of awareness. So you may be fixing your kitchen sink and you're under there trying to figure out a solution. That scale of awareness is right here. It's very focused and it's on real world problems, but you're still using your third eye to solve the issue. You kind of go up that scale and you're figuring out solutions on what to do with a different area of your life that might be a little bit more abstract. You go all the way up the scale and you're getting into psychic abilities and intuition. So really it's a scale. So the trick to expanding the third eye, not opening the third eye because it's open the moment that you're born, is learning how to travel on that scale of awareness.
It's basically shifting the application of the skill set. That's it.
If you can integrate that kind of thinking instead of it's a light switch on and off, it's much easier to take a leap from fixing your sink to figuring out what to do with your life, because you just slide up on the scale of awareness. How do you get there? You've got to slow down and become aware and expand your awareness and tune in.
You've got to go slow to go fast. And from the third eye, think of it like vanilla ice. If you got a problem, go also. Tip number 3. Third eye chakra healing.
So what blocks the third eye? What is in the way of you and your intuition?
One of the biggest blocks to the third eye is ego. You're already important.
So sometimes our third eye can get blocked because we're getting all of this new information and our intuition is blowing up and we're getting psychic awareness we didn't have before, but then we start to get an ego about it. I see things, I know things, and there becomes a certain amount of ego that threatens to creep in. And it's with everyone that opens psychic gifts. So I'm not pointing fingers at everybody. It's a special feeling when you start to be able to tap into a higher place on that scale. So ego can get to be a problem with the third eye when you have this sense of significance about yourself and you build on that. And that comes from a fear that you're not good enough. So the person that lets the ego trip of the third eye opening become significance, they're drawing from a past fear of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, but now I have this special skill, so now I'm worthy enough, now I'm good enough. If you feel like you are good enough, and then you have all these abilities that open up, and you expand your psychic awareness, you're much more solid in the information that you bring forward.
So the actual healing for the third eye is allowance and self-trust. If you trust yourself and know that you are significant, that you're important, that you're fantastic, just like everybody else in the universe, then the information can flow in more freely without the attachment to the lower energy of the chakra.
Not only the underlying fear of what if I'm not good enough, but a big heavy what if I'm wrong. And so that colors your ability to read psychic information with clarity. Self-trust, know that you are enough, and know that you are significant and special.
Now it's time for that bonus tip. How to access the space in between.
So the space in between is the space where you receive that third eye information, which gets dropped from the subconscious into the conscious mind, or the superconscious to the subconscious to the conscious. Let's try that again. From the superconscious to the subconscious to the conscious mind. You've got to cultivate that space in between. Now, I know that people like Einstein used to take naps in the daytime because that's actually a really good place to access that information, because your conscious mind is relaxed and your subconscious mind has time and space to dump that information into your conscious mind. This is why practices like meditation are helpful.
Meditation, yoga, anything that calms your conscious mind and slows it down so that you can jump into that space in between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, where that information gets relayed. That's where the real spot is. Yep.
So your third eye is fully active when you are sleeping in your subconscious space. It's doing all kinds of stuff. And in your conscious space, when you're just talking and doing the stuff of life, you're kind of operating in the conscious world. So the trick is to bridge the gap between those two places and create a space in between where information can pass through in this sort of like train station in between, so that you can tap in and access those ideas and that intuition and that idea for the story you're writing, or what you should do with your life, or your intuition.
It's getting these two friends to talk together instead of being two separate individuals in two separate universes.
So there are a lot of ways to practice cultivating that space in between. And by cultivating it, you can more easily travel that scale of third eye awareness very easily.
Now it's time for that secret weapon.
We want to invite you to our special private Zen Rose Garden focus group on advanced chakras for the badass healer. Click the link
in the description to get it.
We want to give a shout out to one of our valued subscribers,
Amanda Joy.
Thank you so much for all your support and for commenting and
liking and commenting and sharing and everything that you do and everything that you've done. Thank you.
It's Truth Bomb time. Leave your truth bomb moments and any questions you have in the comments below.
If you like this video, hit that like button.
Hit the like button. Now, think of at least 2 people that need this information.
And share it with anyone that comes to mind. If you're ready to take your badass life to the next level,
be sure to subscribe.
And click that bell to turn notifications on,
so you're the first to know
when we drop a new video
or go live.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you in the next video.